Hi, welcome to class. We're the only two right now, but the other ones will show up eventually, right? I hate my life. I hate my life. A Professor Sunreis Productions! Hello class, Professor Sunreis here. In today's class, we are going to take a look at another replay analysis of mine. But stay tuned for more content on this channel. I've thought about one or two nice video idea. One very, like a big one, as a one-time thing basically, and one of a more of a continuing series. So definitely stay tuned for that after YCS Utrecht, when I don't have to prepare for another big event in a longer time. I don't even know if there's going to be another event. There will definitely be more action on this channel again. So without further ado, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave some feedback down below, and let's get right into that replay. So here we are in the replay. We are up against Flaming Eyes, who has always these very interesting profile pictures, definitely on Dudimuk. They win the rock, paper, scissors, so they decide to go first. 41 versus 40. They are on Tearlements, Ishizu, and we are on our Bystial Spright deck list again. As you can see, I'm still, or again, on the Prosperity. I've definitely did some changes on the deck, but definitely stay tuned for more after YCS Utrecht, where I'm definitely going to show my final deck list, of course. Hopefully being a topping deck list, of course. So, they activate the Perlino, adding the Sharon together with Rhinoheart, Impermanence, Heartbeat, and Murdy. This is a pretty good hand, but me having one Bystial on their turn and two in the opponent's turn is definitely still very good. Bystials are just really insane in this matchup, of course, and you will definitely see this in this replay. So they decided to activate the Sharon, pitching Merly, evict Sharon, hitting a Sharon, a Droplet, and a Perlino. That's okay, I guess. I think in this situation you don't really want to activate two Tearlament names, just because it just does not make sense, especially with a hand like that, which is so gassy. And you'd rather keep the Sharon on the field, so this is very good for us, because they have Rhinoheart, they want to keep the Sharon on the field for a redoer. We can stop their fusion play here by hitting the Merly with the Serenier. That's pretty good. So now they activate the normal summon of the Rhinoheart, activate the effect, pitching probably a Huffness. Yeah, pitching Huffness. Effect Huffness. Of course, they do this. Huffins. Huffness? I don't even know. Of course, they do this because they can still trigger the Sharon on the field with the Redoer if they have to, so to still be able to play. Oh, excuse me. Kid Carlos effect to search trap here? No, search Merly probably. Yeah, search Merly. That heartbeat. What is a heartbeat at the trap from graveyard? Okay. And now they go for Redoer. Effect Kid Carlos, target itself, summon Merly from the hand, effect Kid, effect Merly, mill 8, feel great. Gotta love to see it, man. Never getting tired of that. Right? Anyways, they hit pretty disgustingly, honestly. That's basically the best one you could have asked for. They hit a Scream to add a trap. They hit all of the Ishizu cards. Of course, they don't really do a lot here anymore because you basically have all the triggers already. So yeah, they get a trap. They start the Sulliek, and then we both mill 5. They don't really hit anything here. I would have liked Fenry for turn. Probably not, because I already have a Serenity on there. We hit an Angler though, which is pretty pog if you ask me. So we stop the turn with a Serenity on board and 2 Beavers. You can't really complain about that. Ugh. But still, they have a lot of disruption going against us with the 1 Mudora, 1 Keldo on their turn, so they can shuffle 6, so these Bystials can be kind of hard to resolve. Add to that, what do they have? They have the Redoer, which can do something. They have the Sulliek into Merly thing. Definitely a very interesting deck. Not deck, definitely a very interesting point in this duel here. They activate the Medora, targeting 3 of their cards. I don't know why they exactly recycle that here. Let me think. How do they do that? Maybe they just want a higher chance of milling something, because they already use quite a bit, and they of course have a Mudora already. I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Just a free recycle, right? Making your mills better in my turn is definitely important for them. And now they can use the planet, of course. I completely forgot about that. They had the Serenity. We used Serenity effect here to send Lubellion. I could have done that before that, but I didn't want to show him, or them, I would say, that I have a Lubellion on my deck and actually play a bigger engine. And now I figured it's smart to do. It's not really, doesn't really do a lot because we already have a Lubellion, but I'd rather not draw this, so might as well send it. So we draw for turn a Fenrir, so we get to that again somehow. They detach or attach actually a Magnemite, so that's kind of annoying. So we are out on a few of our Bystials already, but it's not the end of the world. We still have 3 Worm and 2 Magnemite in the deck. That should definitely be enough. So effect Lubellion here. I don't think they have an answer for that. No, they don't. We search the Magnemite. And then, what do we do here? So they do have the Saliak, which we know of, so we definitely cannot just shotgun these. So we go for a Sky Cavalry Centaur here because they don't really have a known out for this yet, apart from using Pararhino to do something. At the start of battle phase, they're gonna use this to search Sharon. I guess I could have summoned a Jet here, but I was kind of saving my resources. So they use Sharon here. No Rhino Heart. They could have used that as well with the Heartbeat, right? Yeah. Tearlements cardio. So they could have used that. I don't know why they didn't do that. But anyways, so they activate Sharon. We activate Magnemite targeting the Sharon. I just woke up, guys. I'm sorry. Effect Mudora, target probably the Sharon. Sharon and 2 Lubellion, so yeah, that makes sense. So the Magnemite stays in our hand, which is insane. We just basically got a free duty crow for the next turn, which is definitely the biggest strength. The opponent is basically forced to use the Medora here because getting the Magnemite is like really insane. And they really want to pop the center because they don't want me to use their board. But they have no downside in doing this on my part because it's just so free. Also, the reason why I did go for this route instead of going for the Jet earlier is because I still have the Fenrir in there. Was I playing 3 Fenrir at this point? I think I was playing 3 Fenrir. At some point I switched down to 2, and I'm also considering cutting this just because I want to approach the meta differently. Want to prepare a little bit more for Flow Wonder for example, but more on that in a different video. We are here for a replay analysis, so we add the 3rd Fenrir, and here we go for Prosperity for 3 or 6 for 6. Probably fishing for a normal summon. Yeah, definitely a normal summon here. But the Prosperity is awful, I guess, apart from a Druid Worm, because having 3 Bystials in the hand actually kind of poggers against Tearlements, because a quick math, they have 3 Tearlements name, and we have 3 Bystials. So they basically cannot play Tearlements, and that's all the deck does, right? Because they don't really have a secondary engine, which puts on a lot of pressure. Of course, you can use the Ishizus as level 4, so you can go into Duello or Baguska, but we don't really care about those. So here we are thinking we have 2 options here. To either we can normal summon Jet and go for Sprite plays. This uses some of my resources, which I don't really want, and it does play into all of these cards which are still there. Of course, we know there's a Saliak, we don't know there's an Imper, but it plays into a lot of stuff. And I'd rather just keep the Fenrir as a disruption on the board. Maybe eat one of these disruption anyways, and then have 3 Bystials, which basically stop the opponent's turn completely. And afterwards, we can use the opponent's graveyard, for example. We can use the Bystials to go into Dark and go that way go into the Sprite engine as well, next to our normal summon Jet and stuff like that. So I'm very confident in this situation here. Opponent activates Redoer. They attach a red here, I think. Ultimately, I think I've went for a Fenrir here on the Merly. Reason for that is they always had a way to crash the Fenrir here, so I kind of wanted to use the Fenrir early because Redo is not really of concern for them anymore at this point. So I wanted to use the Fenrir early, and I could have used it on the Paralino, but I kind of was reading that they had a second Paralino in their hand because it felt kind of awkward. They didn't use the card in hand, not for a redo, not for a Rhino Heart, etc. So I kind of had to read that there was a Pro Rhino there. So definitely in hindsight, probably should have hit that. But I was thinking they had a second Pro Rhino in hand, so I wanted to hit the Merly, force up the Saliek, which doesn't really do a lot. It would have come out no matter what. So it doesn't really matter what we hit. This would have gotten negated 99% of the time anyway. So they activate Merly. We use the Magnum at first here. There are reasons not to use Magnum at first, but a different one. But I don't really need to resolve this because I already have all of the three Bystials, and the Lubellion Trap Ad is not the most important aspect in the Tearlements matchup because the pop is just not as good against them. So I don't need to search Rebellion, and as long as I get to keep this in my hand, because I do, because they chain the Keldo to recycle, I am hella fine. So they activate the Keldo again, targeting Merly, Agido, and Kid, recycling their resources. You could maybe chain a Druid Worm or something on the Kid Carlos here. Most of the deck lists are on one Kid, so banishing it is kind of pog. So now they go for Piranha on the Saliek. I was thinking they will hit my Fenrir, but they know I have another Fenrir in my hand, so they don't really want to go for that. And they also still know that I have one more Bystial. So they activate Merly, affect Merly, hit Hafness and a Keldo for the next turn, which is fine, I guess. On Hafness effect, we activate Druid Worm. We don't want to show the Serenity yet. And by the way, I also have access into Lebellion over the Serenity in my hand, so I don't need to put a lot of emphasis on the Magnum. And I'd rather just save my resources and layer them correctly. By the way, I am asking the opponent to play faster here because they were thinking like crazy on Hafness thinking, and then 2 minutes later, or 1 minute later, there's nothing going on. This is not the first time, by the way. Very long, by the way. As you can see, this is 27 minutes, and we are in turn 3, by the way. So that is very weird. So Druid Worm on Hafness resolves. They don't have a shuffle. They do. They use that. I don't think they have used that. But there's no reason to use it because at some point you basically have to let them resolve. I think it's a losing battle. Probably should have gone. It's so hard. I don't even know how to play this correctly because it's just so weird. We draw Fraternal Rebellion, which is pretty poggers. Again, they hit a spell on the Redoer, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. We use Rebellion here. They activate Keldo in response, probably to shuffle back to Rebellion. Hafness, Merly, and Rebellion. We are fine with that. Because, like, we don't need the Rebellion, like I said. We add a Druid Worm here, and on rest we can use the Fenrir effect here. On the Merly, because that way we force out a Saliek, for example, which is very suboptimal here because they already targeted the Fenrir. So that's pretty good for us. So now we only have to play through 2 imperms / droplets and no other disruption, right? No. We know summon Jet. They use Redoer effect here to draw. Maybe draw into, I don't know, what would you want to draw here? Hafness is a pretty good draw. We go into an Elf. Effect Elf on the Jet. They chain Hafness, but we are hella fine. We still have 3 Bystials to activate. Chain Imperm on the Elf, which is kind of annoying, but it's not the end of the world. They hit a Merly, they hit a Kelback, they hit a Talent, so it's 2 good mills on their part. Elf gets negated, but we are fine with that. We hit the Magnamat on the Merly. They don't have an immediate response to that apart from using their Mudora, which they haven't used. So we negate that. And then the Kelback resolves, milling 5 on both parts here. We hit the Rebellion finally, so we can actually get the trap set up alive. They basically have to use Reinhardt here, right? I mean, they know we have another one. With that, I mean another Bystial, but anyways. So they use the Reinhardt here, finally revealing that they had a Heartbeat in their grave, which they can actually use now to recycle the Saliek, so that's pretty good. Maybe that's why they didn't go for that route before, because they planned on always popping their trap with the thing to get their engine going again. Anyways, they activate Reinhardt 1, Heartbeat 2, they add the Saliak back, which is so... I don't know why Tearlements get such good support. They had the sent the Shiren. We used the Druid Worm here to banish that, summon that. Now we can Lubellion summon here, effect Druid Worm on the Rhinoheart, I guess. You could also summon hit the Halfness, but no need to just waste the Bystial in our hand. We don't have that. Don't even think we have one in deck anymore. No, we don't have anyone in deck. Yeah, so we actually couldn't reuse the Bystial there. So anyways, that was still a very good spot for us to be in. We had one Bystial. We even had game on board. I don't think we had game, but maybe we did have game. Anyways, so game 2, we are forced to go second, of course. Opening hand on the opponent's part is a Droplet, Rhinoheart, called by the Grave, Imperm, Fenrir, and we are on Shifter, Blue, Branded Beast, Magnum, Beckoning Beast. Insane hand, honestly. So they summon Fenrir here, effect Fenrir to add 1. Of course, they don't care about draw with a called by in their hand. Normal summon Rhinoheart, effect Rhinoheart. There are 2 things here to do. So either you can just shotgun a Shifter, or you can use the Bystial on the Sharon and then let the opponent come with even more, and that was my plan. Because also, the reason why I went for this route is because I have a Magnum in my hand. I'm gonna have another Bystial next turn, so I really wanted to get both of them alive. And if I Shifter here, I only have 1 Bystial activation on the Shifter, and the next turn I add Bystial, which is dead. So I thought this was definitely the correct play to Magnum up this year. And then if the opponent decides to continue to play, we Shifter them after that, which would be a neck breaker, by the way. Not with the Call by the Grave, of course, but in theory, that would be insane. So they step 3, we activate the Magnum or resolve the Magnum at the Lubellion. Pretty good draw in the Druid Worm on our part here. So now we can activate the Lubellion. They activate Called by the Grave. We chain Druid Worm on the Called by, which resolves, I think. Yeah, that's so strong, by the way, because now we can actually activate the Shifter after the Fenrir hits our our Druid Worm. So now we are only against 2 unknown back row. We normal summon that. This gets impermed. We probably summon blue here. I don't know why I didn't Shifter here before. If they've dropletted that here, doesn't really matter, honestly. So we add the Jet. Now we summon Jet, effect Jet. At this point, there's basically no way we can lose this here. We add the starter, we go for a Shifter, we go for a Centaur. I think I was playing around a super polymerization here, because they basically had to go for it at this point exactly. If they don't, I can just go for a Zeus and wipe their board, and afterwards I have starter plus Magnamat plus Beast to finish the game against 1 Fenrir. So, hope you guys enjoyed this replay analysis. I think it was a very cool game to showcase you guys just the strength of Bystials against Tearlements. While Tearlements is definitely the strongest deck in the format, there's no reason or nothing to say against that. It still definitely has weaknesses, and it's still definitely just the Tearlements deck. It just got super consistent, but the way you beat Tearlements is still the same. You just hit their fusion summons in the graveyard. So if you have 2 disruptions against them, like 1 Imperm, 1 GD Crow, it's still very strong. While they have some more lines now, they can maybe go for Bagooska if they've drawn some Ishizu cards, stuff like that. They have way better mills, so the amount of times where they have a 2 Chainlink mill is way higher, so you can't maybe Ghost Spell them. But honestly, it's still a Tearlements deck at the core, and having just Bystials in the hand against them is really strong, especially Bystial like Magnamat, which recycles itself, or if they try to go for, because the game state is so simplified, try to use the Ishizu shufflers to shuffle their own Tearlements back so that Bystials don't resolve. The Bystials still stay in the hand, and if they can't handle the Bystials on the field, they basically are forced to do that, but they can't handle all the Bystials in their hand as well. So a very interesting dynamic there, in my opinion. And then just the game too, having the Shifter plus Bystial is definitely very interesting, where you don't always want to shotgun the Shifter, especially if you have the Magnamat. You might want to use the Magnamat on the first fusion summon, and afterwards, if they commit, for example, if they activate a Shaman afterwards, hit them with the Shifter there. That is a neck breaker. You just murk them with that. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this not deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay analysis of my Bystial Spright list against Ishizu Tearlements. Like I said, stay tuned for more content, maybe even before Ishizu Dortmund. I'm not 100% sure yet. Hope you guys stay safe. Class is out. Professor Sunreis dismisses you. Peace.